To defend against foreign threats, the Indian military developed what they claim is the most powerful weapon on Earth. For India, it's like a shield, always guarding the nation. But if this weapon falls into the wrong hands, it becomes a spear, pointed directly at India's heart. And now, this devastating weapon has caught the attention of criminals. The Indian military was crushed by terrorists, and the weapon was stolen. The attackers identified themselves as the Apocalypse and gave the Indian military a 3-day ultimatum, after which they'd launch a full-scale attack. As soon as the news broke, the command center held an emergency meeting. Colonel Azad explained that the enemy had hijacked their communications network, crippling their defense systems. The leadership immediately ordered activation of remote border assets, but at that moment, a captain objected. Misha explained that at the exact time the weapon was intercepted, she had met with a contact in Shanghai. The contact warned her that new enemies are often old friends, but just as he was about to say more, he was assassinated. Misha chased down the killer and threw a dagger into his back, only to watch in horror as he shrugged it off like nothing had happened. She thought he was dead, until the very next second, he miraculously got up. The gaping wound on his neck began to heal. Misha was no match. She was thrown aside, but strangely, he spared her life. Given the gravity of the situation, Command decided to launch a covert mission, but Misha couldn't handle it alone. That's when the colonel thought of 2 other soldiers, the most elite duo India has ever known. Just how elite? You wouldn't believe it unless you saw it yourself. Fedi and Rocky are officers in the Lion Unit of India's Snow Leopard Commandos. 8 years ago, they were sent on a rescue mission. Hostages were being held at a militant ISS compound. To avoid triggering a military standoff, the mission had to be done with just the 2 of them. A Chinook helicopter would wait in a deserted zone 6 kilometers from the border. No backup, no margin for error. To help them blend in, their commander gave them horses. They galloped straight into ISIS territory, split up, and began eliminating sentries using only bows and crossbows. They planted explosives at key locations throughout the base. Meanwhile, the enemy soldiers were still distracted by Indian music and dance performances, completely unaware that their base was being infiltrated. The 2 operatives found the hostages inside a building, but just as they were preparing to escape, they were discovered, and then showtime.